Get to know James Parker. He's the outstanding CEO and founder of 1921 CoWorking and Incubator in Chicago. Today,
Okay.
alrighty. So James Parker, CEO and founder of 1921 CoWorking and Incubator in Chicago. Welcome to the Chundria Show. How are you today?
I'm doing well. I'm pumped up, excited. Thank you very much.
As you should be. So let's talk about your business, 1921 Co-working and Incubator. Tell me what or who inspired you to launch your business.
Absolutely. So I think what inspired me the most was the fact that when you look at the landscape of tech startups, African American and women-owned startups. Well, let me rephrase that: minority and women-owned startups are the least to be funded, to be launched, and there's some incredible ideas. And there's a lot of factors out there for that. So instead of focusing on the issues of why not, I decided to focus on how can we, right? How can we create a space where we can change that dynamic, but as an incubator, launch more minority and women-owned startups. So that was really my impetus for doing it, because I just wanted to make sure that, everyone has the ability, but not everyone has the opportunity. And so with 1921, we're able to create more opportunities.
Fantastic. I love that you have chosen to do that. It's like your gift to the community, your gift to the world. So tell me about the name.
I'll take that.
Tell me about the name of the business.
Yeah, so the name of the business is named after Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And so what a lot of people don't know is that a little over 100 years ago, the Black Wall Street was literally, it was called the Black Wall Street Massacre. I mean, where buildings were destroyed, people were killed, all because they created this dynamic of being able to take care of themselves, right? And so you have people who were jealous and people who were envious and looking for a reason to destroy something. But what a lot of people don't know, and this is all thanks to a nonprofit down there called the Victory of Greenwood that I got a chance to really meet with and partner with and learn more about, is that after that happened, literally Black-owned businesses opened right back up. They were resilient. They were not going to be deterred. They were not going to be stopped. And that's really what 1921 is focusing on: the resilience, the fact that, hey, listen, if there's an opportunity, we can create it, and we're going to move forward with it. And so that's really what it's named to honor.
Beautiful message, beautiful story. I mean, to take something that's so tragic and an unfortunate part of our Black history and pay it
American
forward.
History.
Part of American, you're right, American history, and move it forward in a positive way. I think is tremendous. So tell me, how does your business serve the community specifically?
Exactly. Well, there's several ways. One of the things that we're going to be doing is with 1921 is we're launching tech startups in the community, right? And so typically what happens is, and this is Silicon Valley, Chicago, a lot of startups launch downtown, which is awesome. Hey, I'm not mad at it. But what happens is that those areas downtown begin to grow, right? Jobs, and then restaurants come, and then stores come, and all these things come. And so I said, well, wow, what would happen if we launched tech startups in the community, in low-income and emerging communities? Well, guess what? The jobs stay there, right? The people now don't try to make it out of a community. They want to stay there because that's where that job is. That job is in their community where they were born and raised. And so it benefits the community in these ways. We launch tech startups in low-income and emerging communities. The jobs stay in those low income and emerging communities. We then train the people in the community how to work at those jobs. So help desk, tech support, cybersecurity. Right now, I think it was like 2 million cybersecurity jobs open right now. We're about to add more, but they're going to be filled because we're going to train the people to work at these tech startups. So therefore, the community can move forward, Chundria, in 1 to 2 years instead of decades like it's been. The other way it benefits the community is that 1921 is the first tech and manufacturing incubator that allows the everyday individual to become a stakeholder in these tech startups. So what happens when that happens? Well, as a stakeholder, you now have equity in the startup, which means you get a chance to share in the revenue of the startups that are benefiting your community.
Wow. Well, that's amazing. And I see the response has been really great since you've launched the business. What type of feedback have you gotten thus far?
So far, we've gotten nothing but great things. I've been on WGN News talking about it, and now I'm on the Chundria show talking about it, and so the feedback has been great. The individuals who've been able to become stakeholders, they're encouraged because now they're able to create true generational wealth by being a part of not only 1921, but also being a part of the community. My new mantra is a rising tide lifts all boats. And 1921 is trying to be and will be that rising tide that lifts all boats in relation to the community. And I think with our stakeholder opportunity, it kind of helps our community understand that, listen, you can't just stay in one place, right? You've got to do more. You have the opportunity to do more. You have, and investing is probably one of the biggest ways. I've been doing a lot of financial research, and I know we can't go into all of this, but let's just say that Harvard Business School published an article about this, and that alternative investments, the biggest one of alternative investments is private equity, and that's where you get equity in companies before they launch or go public. That is the fastest growing trend right now. It's expected to grow to $14 trillion in assets under management. So you've got crypto, you've got all this. We can no longer in our community be, I don't know, I don't understand, and don't do anything, while others are doing it and creating a greater wealth gap. We can close that wealth gap by providing the opportunity for the community and individuals from the community to be able to take part in that.
I think it's really awesome. I mean, I wonder about because you're creating wealth, you're building investments. I mean, it's beneficial to everyone involved. Sure. The person that's getting the training, the person that's doing the training, the community thrives, money stays in the community. Does it have any impact in any way on the youth in the community?
Absolutely. And here's probably one of the best things. After my interview on TV, I got reached out to by the Common Ground Foundation. That's Common, the rapper Common's group. And they were like, hey, listen, we just saw you, and will there be any internship opportunities for the youth? And I was like, absolutely, because here's what happens when you launch a tech startup in the community. Those internships to work, those opportunities for the youth to work in a tech company where everything is moving now, tech and manufacturing, the skill set, the professionalism, learning what it's like to work in an office, learning what it's like to be on the cutting edge of something new that everyone around the world will be using it's invaluable, right? And so for our youth to be able to say, I'm interning at a company called Table, or I'm interning at a company called Consummate Home, or I'm interning in their own community, speaks volumes. And not just a free internship. No, we're going to pay these kids. So now they're going to recognize, you know what, I'm not going to go out and do anything stupid. I have an opportunity to possibly work at this tech startup when I finish college, or when I finish or get my associate's degree, or whatever. Once I get my certification, I don't want to mess that up. I don't want to do anything that's going to give me a background now that may prevent me from working at one of these companies. So when they have the opportunity, their whole perspective changes.
This business model is really stupendous because it helps everyone thrive. I mean, and I'm so happy that youth are also impacted in a really positive light. Gives them career opportunities, gives them perspective, gives them role models and mentorship, gives them some money in their pocket.
Right.
So everybody,
a lot of money too.
It's literally like everyone's winning. And so it makes me curious about you, because I know you've been an entrepreneur for a really long time. And when you get on something, you will do the research and you will hit the pavement, and you will make sure, that it's of sound mind and well thought out and planned out. So my question for you is, tell me about your relationship with the city of Chicago and why you continue to launch initiatives here.
So I moved to Chicago a few moons ago after graduating high school in Germany. And I just fell in love with the city. It's an incredible city. I think for me, I just saw opportunities that other people haven't. I've had many people who are from here that are friends that are like, it's going to take somebody who's not even from Chicago to move Chicago forward, but I think that's what happens when you bring in eyes or experiences that are looking at it from a different angle. And I just love this city. I believe that Chicago will be the first city that we launch this business model in. And then it will allow me to launch this business model in other cities. I've had mayors from other cities come up to visit, to look at the business model, to take it back, to implement in their own cities, because it works. I'm not no, this is all mine. Listen, the more people who are able to move communities forward, the better. And so that's why Chicago, I just love it. You know, and I'm happy to be here.
Wow, great things are continually happening. You have mayors reaching out, the Common Ground Foundation, like all of these amazing things are happening. I couldn't be happier for you. So what's in store for the rest of the year and beyond for 1921?
Sure. So right now we have 10 startups in our pipeline. Their projected revenues are going to hit about $1.2 billion. And that means we'll create roughly 2,500 jobs, starting at 55,000 a year, all the way up to, if they get their cybersecurity certification, all the way up to over 110,000. So in addition, our stakeholders will get a nice return on their investment from these startups. And then our goal over the next 10 years is to launch more than 350 startups, not just in Chicago, but all over the city, all over the country. Right now, we're developing spots to launch in Haiti, because we believe that we can move this business model to third world countries and then create incredible paying jobs and move these countries forward simply by launching startups. The beauty of technology is you can launch a startup anywhere, right? You can launch it anywhere. And so with that mindset, if we launch in Haiti, what Haiti will look like in 5 years, right? If we launch in, I mean, I had the opportunity to be reached out to by some city officials in Tulsa, which is based off 1921. So to be able to come full circle, and I was down there last year twice, spotting out areas and meeting with one of the city officials of where we can open 1921. So, you know, this year, the rest of the year will be phenomenal, but the next 10 years will be life-changing for the community.
James Parker, you are a true visionary. I've known you for a long time, and it's awesome to just watch you continually grow. You get these amazing, grandiose, impactful ideas that keep you up at night, and then you bring them full circle. You bring them to life. They come from idea to full life and impact not only yourself, but other people in a major way. So congrats to you on the success of 1921.
Thank you.
And just before we go, I have a few lightning questions for you.
Sure. Okay.
First one, who's the smartest person you know?
It's actually two people, my mom and dad.
Okay. And why mom and dad?
They instilled so much into me and my brothers, and on just business. My dad used to say, you are where you are based on the decisions you make. And that allowed me to grow up never blaming anyone else for where I'm at in my life. And so I take that, I share that with my daughter, my two sons, and I share that with young people that I speak with.
Awesome. Question number 2. What was your very first job?
All right. So my very first job was a summer job in Germany, working on the base as an office assistant.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was 15 or 16. I can't remember.
Office assistant to CEO. Okay.
I know, right?
Last one. Oh, no, third one. How would you spend $1 million?
Chances are I'd spend it helping minority and women-owned startups get launched, because I know that $1 million will create more jobs in the community. And if I get a little equity in those companies, I'll make even more money. So, and then just wash, rinse, and repeat.
Fantastic. Last question. How do you unplug when it's time to rest and relax?
Yeah, what is that? Wow, that's the one that's got me stupid. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I go out of town, and wow, I don't know.
I know you're a family man. I know you spend a lot of time with your wife and your children. So I guess I would say for you spend time with your family when you're
I do,
working.
yeah.
Okay.
And even then, my mind is still racing. The one thing is I'm not allowed to bring my laptop on vacation. So,
I think that's for your protection too, right?
It is for my
Protect
protection.
you from yourself.
I know. So that's probably it. Thank you. But I don't have any one thing that I do, and I probably need to work on that. So. So I appreciate the mini challenge there. So
there you go. All right, James Parker, thank you so much for being my special guest right here on the Chundria Show. Little factoid: James Parker was my very first guest when I launched the Chundria Show back in 2013. So I want to thank you for still hanging out and supporting me and being a true friend.
Absolutely.
Here we are in 2022. So thank you so much,
Absolutely.
James. I wish you continued success in your business, and I can't wait to share the interview with you.
Thank you so much, Chundria. It was an honor.